Welcome to BookNookly, also paperartsvg.com. My name is Wenda O'Neill, and today I'm going to show you how I designed these vintage looking books in these BookNooks and how you can buy this design and easily create them in just minutes. First, I have two parts. I've designed a number of vintage looking covers and these little boxes. And my first step is to bend the covers. I don't need them to be perfect. I just need them to bend like a book. So I use a flat edge. I've used this Cricut tool. I use both of these Cricut tools actually. When I use the larger Cricut tool, I do it backwards and then bend it the correct way because I can't really see the lines of the spine. So I'm not going to bore you and repeat that all. I'm just going to show you really quick how I do a couple more books. Now, for the inside, and this is the part that really is the magical part. I've designed these little tiny boxes, and when you cut them on your Cricut, they're all perforated edges. So all I need to do is cut them and pop them out. I'm using cardstock right here, like a cream colored cardstock. And then I just go through each one and bend at all of the perforated edges, and it looks kind of like a clamshell. Just going to speed this up so that you don't have to watch me create all of these all at one time. Okay, now that you have all of your little clamshells folded up and you have your book covers bent, what I'm going to do is take some Aleene's tacky glue and I'm just going to put a bead of glue along the inside cover. I'm a messy crafter, so you may do the glue a little bit differently, but the goal here is to make sure that there's glue on either end as well as the middle, because we really want it to hold on to that little box that we're going to stick inside the cover. So now I'm just going to close the box and I'm going to stick the open end into the spine so that the closed end or the folded end is what shows on the outside of the book. And for a bookcase, that's not necessarily too important, but it is important if you want to lay have a couple of books laying around in your dollhouse or in your BookNook, and you want to kind of make it look a little bit lived in, right? So you want to make sure that it's closed. And I've also found that sometimes the little books pop open. Not a problem. I use this big round thing of painter's tape, and I just kind of press it down. I'll show you what I mean. So I just kind of put something not too heavy because I don't want to crush it, but just enough to keep the covers pressed against the little book on the inside, the little clamshell box that we've put on the inside. And you can see they look like miniature books. They're so cool. Their imperfections are what make them perfect, in my opinion. I mean, I just think these are so neat. Now, let me show you how I put them together because I can't just have loose books, right? That would be terrible. Essentially, I just put a little dot. Let me get the glue flowing here. Put a dot of glue on the cover, figure out which book I want to be on the end. Sometimes in the bookcase, that book is shown, sometimes it's not. And I start by stacking them. And I usually stack about 3, but then once I have 3 books kind of glued together, they'll stand up. And then I will just glue the rest of the books to those books. And the thing that I love about this method is that it makes the books look uneven, like real books. I mean, they're not so uniform because real books really aren't that uniform, right? And I like to take the last book in the row and kind of put it on a slight angle. And then when it dries, it just looks so realistic. I do want to point out that I do always try to line them up flat on one side. And that's really key because when you start putting them into bookcases, You want them to fit in without having anything overlapping. And look how adorable they are. I just can't get over how good they turn out, and so quick. And I know that you can see the box when you're close up like that, but look at it in this really in the bookcase. They look authentic. They look like real books in this bookcase, and they were so easy to make. Thanks for watching. Make sure to follow me on my YouTube channel.